All right, here's the story. Ladies and gentlemen, today, Donald Trump arrived in Washington, D.C., pleaded not guilty. Political reports, Trump pleads not guilty to charges that he conspired to overturn the 2020 election. At the former president's arraignment, prosecutors and defense lawyers signaled immediate disagreement over how quickly he should stand trial. So my understanding is, I think they have it in here somewhere, the next date will be August 28th. Was that it? Do they even, how far down do I got to go for them to confirm it? But I'm pretty sure. Here we go. Chutkan's first hearing was set for August 28th. Before then, prosecutors and Trump's defense team were ordered to submit briefs proposing a schedule for the trial. Chutkan expects to set a trial date at the August 28th hearing. Trump criticized Chutkan in a social media post a few hours before, calling her unfair. So apparently, the reporting is that Jack Smith is trying to try this extremely quickly, saying we need a speedy trial here. Probably because the primaries are coming up. And, there's another story we'll get into. Ron DeSantis debating Gavin Newsom. I kind of feel like that's what the deep state is hoping for. Gavin Newsom, not Joe Biden, and Ron DeSantis, not Donald Trump. I am not trying to imply that either of them are working for the deep state or the intelligence agencies. I am saying that they don't want a failing Joe Biden because he can't win, and they despise Donald Trump. So they're trying to get whatever they can. Thus, Jack Smith is like, let's get this speedy and rushed through. But I'll add one thing before we all just jump into the conversation. I think the fact that they did not remand Trump to custody proves it is not a legitimate criminal trial. And people can make the argument, oh, no, Trump's not a flight risk. Nobody thinks he'll flee. He's running for president. It's like, OK, fair point. But they're accusing him of trying to overthrow the government. That's what they're saying on MSNBC. This guy owns a 757, a Cessna Citation. He owns 2 helicopters. He probably has access to more jets than just those. Not to mention, being a billionaire, he can easily charter a private jet. If they legitimately thought Trump was a threat to democracy and that he was trying to overthrow the government, how could they not order him to be remanded?
It just makes me start to wonder, like, who are his Secret Service agents and where are their loyalties? You know what I mean? Like, who do they think that they'll just be like, no, we won't let you flee if you really wanted to? I'm sure he could figure it out. The entire case against Trump, and I made this argument the other night, was it's obviously intended to destroy the pattern and momentum of his campaign, right? Jack Smith was happily investigating for years, and then all of a sudden he's ready and we have to rush this prosecution. Doesn't seem suspicious at all. Oh, wait, of course, it's complete convenience.
Trump could go to his jumbo jet and say, we're going to do a rally. We have a scheduled rally in insert city, Milwaukee. And then they all get on the plane. And then as soon as the plane takes off, he goes to the pilot and says, we're going to El Salvador. Mm-hmm. And then, people could argue like, oh, there's no flight plan. He could just do it. Mm-hmm. He could just do it.
The problem is if he left, excuse me, he wouldn't be able to be president.
Oh, of course.
That would burn the bridge. And they know he doesn't want to burn that bridge. So they don't consider him a flight risk.
I don't buy it. They're accusing Trump of some of the most serious crimes in the history of this country. They are claiming that he attempted to steal. They're claiming that he called for an insurrection to stage a coup on the Capitol to steal power. That is seditious. They're effectively arguing whether they didn't charge him with it or not, seditious conspiracy, and then being like, nah, you're good. Go on home, buddy.
I don't. Here's what I think, though. I think that we're missing one little point. I agree with you that it's obviously not serious charges. If they actually thought he was a threat, they would have kept him in pretrial detention, just like they did with so many of the January 6th defendants.
Exactly.
Which I thought was setting a legal precedent so that they could do this with Trump. I still think they're going to. I don't think that just because they let him walk out today, that means that they're not going to. I think they obviously want to put Trump in prison because they despise Trump. They think it'll destroy his presidential campaign. But if you look at the crux of what this indictment from Jack Smith is it's really against political speech. It's a violation of your First Amendment right to have an opinion that is different than the opinion of the Joe Biden administration, which we can talk about the trickle down effects of that. But I think that they want to criminalize not just Trump's free speech. They want to criminalize us. So how do they do that? Well, they wait until this story's passed. He tweets something they disagree with. They say it's, ruining this case. They put him in pretrial detention because they want some crazed Trump supporter to commit an act of violence so that they can say, well, it's not just a crime when Trump says this, it's a crime when all y'all say this, and we're going to crack down on you.
I think there could be a component to that. I think part of the free speech angle or the criticism of political speech is that they never got a smoking gun. There's really nothing there. So now they're going to have to make a very obscure political argument. I think if Trump, you're totally right. If he fled the country, he couldn't be president. It would obviously be worse. I think part of it is sort of gambling with them. They really want the perp walk. They want an image of him in handcuffs. They want that to be all you see for a long time. And so, again, for me, all of this comes back to timing, right? They could do it right now, but he's gaining. Every time they indict him, he jumps in the polls. So if they released a picture of him in handcuffs, who's to say this wouldn't actually bolster his supporters?
It would help him.
Exactly.
That's why they won't remand him. That's my point. If they genuinely thought Trump tried to overthrow this country and led an insurrection against an official proceeding, they'd be like, lock him up and throw away the key. There are people still in jail right now without charge or trial for having trespassed at the Capitol. And you mean to tell me that they're like, Trump, you are free to go, but we think you're the one who orchestrated all of it? Nah, BS.
Yeah, think about
they don't believe it at all.
Think about the QAnon shaman, right? Jacob Chansley. Like, think about, we all saw that video when Tucker aired it after McCarthy gave him all the film from January 6th. Like, you can make an argument that he shouldn't have been in the Capitol. Like, that's fine, but obviously not violent, right? He was just kind of meandering around in there, and he was kept in pretrial detention and then in prison for how long? Because he was considered to be it was the same charge one of the same charges that Trump is obstruction of an official government proceeding.
Yeah.
And come on.
I mean, it's the same thing with like the Proud Boy conspiracy trial. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I will say, because you brought it up, we felt like the January 6th, imprisonment was sort of a sense of precedent. And it makes me wonder, is there a fear among left-leaning lawmakers and Democrats that eventually Republicans will go after maybe Hillary Clinton or someone else? And then if they put Trump in jail right now, then they are setting the precedent that their leaders will have to go in jail at the same point during the trial. Maybe this is a sign that they are actually scared.
Maybe.
I don't think they have anything to worry about Democrats going to jail when Republicans are in power, unfortunately.
Yeah, I agree. Republicans are going to send strongly worded letters, and then it's just the most pathetic thing imaginable. The indictment against Donald Trump lays forth this idea that you can indict someone for defrauding this country over elections. So where are any of the Republican DAs anywhere in this country to indict Hillary Clinton
for acid washing our servers?
Well, I mean, she's publicly stated over and over again that Trump was illegitimate, and she was doing it to try and steal power and all of these things. She was accusing Trump of being a Russian during the election. All right. 2015, all of the stuff that they started pulling out against Donald Trump, accusing of working with Russians and being a Russian asset and all that stuff. That was before Trump won.
Yeah.
What's the statute of limitations on that? I can't imagine. It's only a couple of years. Got to be at least 10, right? It's felony. Maybe there's no statute. Where's any Republican to be like, okay, we're filing charges? But the jurisdiction touches everything.
It's legal to say that you think an election was fraudulent if you truly
not
believe
according
it.
to the indictment.
But that's
only
what the
if you
indictment's
think
bringing up, though. The indictment's basically saying that Trump's opinion, even though he genuinely believed it.
No. The indictment says that Trump stated things that he knew were false, therefore it's illegal.
So they're
right, I
assuming
know, but it's pretty obvious to everyone that Trump believed what he was saying.
I think that's
and
true.
let's make the same argument that Hillary Clinton knew she was lying, the same as they say about Trump, and go arrest her. But Republicans are pathetic, spineless, whiny losers.
The thing is, you can't prove if they knew it or not. There's no way to prove
course.
that.
That's actually that's actually one of the biggest flaws, I think, besides the attack on the First Amendment. That's one of the biggest legal flaws, is the bar for the intent in these different statutes is so high. I mean, it's arguably unconstitutional, but it would be next to impossible to prove if you had unbiased jurors, which I suppose is a huge caveat in this case because it's going to be in Washington, D.C. So
not unless Trump gets in West Virginia, which I would personally love.
There's no way that's going to happen.
Be the best thing of all time.
He for sure. I mean, I don't know, but he really seems to believe like that election was fraudulent. He's very straightforward about it. He's been the entire time. I don't understand why they would assume that he's lying. It makes no sense.
They're not assuming he's lying. They are lying.
They're purporting that he's lying,
right.
I suppose.
They know Trump really believes it, but they're lying. And so the issue is, why is it that Vivek Ramaswamy is filing these lawsuits against the DOJ for information pertaining to the communications between Biden and Garland as per this indictment? Why is it Vivek? He's not even a politician, and he's more effective than what every Republican. I'll give Matt Gaetz a pass. He's doing a lot of really great stuff. He's always on top of stuff. But Vivek's just a candidate, and he's like, I'm going to file a lawsuit. Can we get a single member of Congress to do something.
No, they're too busy holding hearings so they can get viral Twitter clips, Tim.
Yeah, that's about right.
Much more important.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.